All right. I don't know if I like that right there or not, but I'll keep it for now. But hello, good evening, welcome. I hope all of my Patreons are doing well. Um, what I'm going to do tonight is go over the 2025-2026 Dragon forecast. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the free information first so that I don't have to go and make two videos. I could splice that one video and send that off as a freebie on YouTube. This one stays on Patreon. That's why it's unscribed. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this recording and break it up and then give you all the good information, the predictions, the zodiac forecast for all the signs in the second half. So that's how we're going to rock and roll. I hope everyone's having a great weekend. And once we go private and it's just us Patreons, we will, I'll discuss some things that are going on. All right, let's get right to it. Let me get the glasses on. So it's been quite a journey these past 18 months, and we have seen many things take place over the past year. Every 18 months, the universal dragon energy shifts. We call this the changing of the guards in ancient astrology. Modern astrology pays very little attention to these nodal shifts. Vedic, which is on the sidereal method, Babylonian, Occidental, also called Chinese astrology, Draconian, not practiced as much anymore, and divine astrology, which is the method that I am certified in, the Nostradamus method, are the only ones that pay any attention to the north and the south nodes and their housing systems. Now, brief analysis here. In Vedic astrology, astronomically, Rahu and Ketu denotes the points of intersection of the paths of the sun and the moon as they move on the celestial sphere. Therefore, Rahu and Ketu are respectively called the north and south lunar nodes. Rahu is responsible for causing the eclipses of the sun. And I did use Google to search that one, so there's my proof. You'll see it in the newsletter. Now, Nostradamus was able to create astrological predictions by incorporating a few ancient methods of astrology to work very well under the tropical zodiac. Now, he took draconian methods, which represents the soul's purpose in life, mixed them with the teachings of the dragon's energy of Chinese astrology, and used the Babylonian ancient methods and power of the dragon's placements to see into the future of how all of these energies will affect mankind by house, sign, and some degrees. Now, on July 17th, 2023, the universal dragon moved from a Taurus Scorpio axis into an Aries Libra axis. The Aries Libra dragon energy has been directly hunting for all Aries, Libras, and all April and October born souls. And also those that are born with a sun, a moon, a rising, a natal, or hidden dragon in Libra and Aries have felt this energy the absolute strongest. Now, Aries is the toddler or the warrior of the zodiac. It's the ruler of the first house. This placement in its positive energy. Remember, energies always have positive and negative. In its positive energy will always signify the potential for growth, individuality, assertiveness, courage, and initiation. They're always the ones to initiate things. And let's face it, Aries are known for developing independence, self-confidence, and taking the initiative in their own lives. This energy encourages individuals and communities to embrace their individuality, pursue their passions, and assert their needs and desires in a healthy and balanced way. Now, the Aries North Node is all about inventions, new leaders and leaderships, the military, and new adventures and discoveries. We will hear about military advancements with weapons, fleets, and stronger armies. This is a warlike energy as Aries is ruled by Mars, which is the Lord of War. That's somewhat better. This is also where the planet Mars will make major headlines with news, both positive and negative. The possibility of an increase in wildfires, well, we've seen that. Explosions, we've seen that. Violence and warfare, think Middle East, Palestine, things going on in Sudan and the Congo. This is very common. Mars is warlike energy. And when the war, the invasion in Palestine had happened, it was under this umbrella of energy. There is also the possibility of many countries becoming very competitive with one another over currency, geopolitical issues, semiconductors. That's one you want to look closely at, semiconductors, and precious metals. And a space race can ensue as well. Now, this is where the negative can prevail, as Aries is not known for its patience or its diplomacy or grace. Not all. I've met some very graceful Aries. And wars, battles, and dogfights can ensue. And I want to add this, and just because the dragon is riding its head does not mean tragedy and sadness will not occur. Most of the world doesn't have any cosmic consciousness and doesn't understand the cosmic energies afoot, and therefore creates tragedy. Hence why it's very important to know your lucky and unlucky biorhythm days so you can maneuver around these cosmic forces. Now, the dragon's tail, your south node, or the south node, universal south node, has been in Libra, creating an energy full of arguments, indecisiveness, chaos, unbalanced energy, breakups, and that's even through death, and souls that feel that they are above the law. So there have been a lot of breakups and a lot of divorces, but breakups also come through tragedies like war in the Ukraine, in Palestine. Once again, these are war-torn places right now. And till death do us part, that's parting ways. Libra is the ruler of the seventh house, and this is partnerships, it's contracts and marriage, and it's sharing as well. Think of the Justice card in the tarot. Libra is Lady Justice and rules the laws and judicial system. This is the sign of diplomacy, justice, laws, and compassion. However, when the energies are riding the tail, everything can be quite the opposite. We have seen lots of injustices occur, fighting, divorces, breakups, lack of empathy, lack of strength, no regard for laws, mass manipulation, and deep guilt can prevail for the world at large. Nations such as Germany, Scandinavia, Denmark, Algeria could make headlines. And it's maybe latter in the dragon cycle of Aries, but hasn't Denmark made the news? Don't we want to make Denmark the 51st state? Or no, not Denmark, Greenland, which is owned by Denmark. So that could these countries could have made headlines. Germany has been in the news a lot since July of 2023 as well. It will be the Aries and Libra nations that feel this energy the most, and Germany is an Aries nation. Scandinavia and Denmark are Aries nations. So is Algeria. One of these days I will do for my Patreon some astrogeography and show you how energies of certain places take on astrological and planetary energies. Now, the United States felt this energy on its 10th house of public presence, accomplishments, achievements, goals, and opportunities. Now, the USA has been under the public microscope from its people and its political leaders, and especially its military. We, as a nation, already kind of look like a clown car in certain circles that's kind of filled with stupidity and ignorance. Those of us who are cosmically conscious know that the two cancers that plague this world are politics and religion. But if we do not behave publicly, this country will get exposed even more for its corruption, and an uprising of its citizens is possible. More in 2025, 2026 on that. Um, we'll talk about that later. The dragon's tail has been on the United States' fourth house of home, family, security, food, hence why food prices are going up. Mothers, real estate, and housing. The housing market has been horrible. Um, there's a lot of corruption in the real estate markets. This is where wars can break out. We've seen that. Revolutions begin. That is slowly occurring uh, under the umbrella right now. I think there's a revolution brewing. Pluto and Aquarius, baby. There's food shortages. Alliances are broken, and so are many contracts that were once thought to be solid and binding. This country is not in a good place financially, mentally, and democracy is very flawed. However, the only thing I see happening with finances is those of us who have invested in digital currency with the new administration coming in, who is very crypto friendly, crypto czar, and all this. That's where some of us will benefit. It might be the only thing we benefit from is making money in the stock market and the crypto market. Um, so it could be a good place financially for some people, but not everybody. And it has been a good run. I mean, the crypto got it was rough. Even the Bitcoin halving took a dump and it didn't do much. But there was a little mini bull run here at the end of the year, and it's going to happen again, but the markets are going to go up and down. But I don't give all that information away. I'm going to be telling my Wheel of Fortune crew out there in Patreon exactly what's getting ready to happen. So these past 18 months or so, it has been like warlike energy. And now we move into the year of oligarchs, gurus, and religious nuts. Welcome to Pisces, and it's negative. No. The north and south nodes are shifting again, and this is shifting on January 12th, 13th. That's today. I believe it's happening around 11 o'clock in the evening. So overseas, you will hit it on the 13th, and it's late tonight. It hits for us. They're going to move again. So this time we move into the feminine water dragon energy of Pisces. Pisces is the 12th sign of the zodiac and rules the 12th house of the deep subconscious mind. It rules mystery, illusions, delusions, a stronger connection to higher spirit, and escapism. Now, on a positive, and I did not put this in the newsletter, I do not think, but it also represents that Christ consciousness that a lot of metaphysical people are searching for. Pisces is a karmic sign, so it's in the it's ruled by the elusive planet of Neptune, which is watery, it's wet, it's dreamy, it's mystical, deceiving, and it's karmic once again. Pisces rules the feet. It rules podiatry, music, water, oceans, beaches, maritime, sailing, floods, sea levels rising, religion, oil, gas, addictions, alcohol, drugs, depression, poisoning, diseases, the Middle East, the Vatican, the Pope, pharmaceuticals, jails, prisons, hospitals, mental institutions, synagogues, cathedrals, mosques, churches, temples, exotic lands, gurus, cults, and mysticism. The symbol, the fish, was chosen subconsciously by the Christians to represent their doctrine and the piousness of all religions in general. Now, the dragon's tail will be in Virgo, which is Earth, and it represents the sixth house of health and employment. Virgo is all about better health, diets, textiles, cleanliness, hardworking, analytical, organization, nature, intellect, sarcasm, excellent communication skills, perfectionism. It rules the intestines and the bowels. It's about purity, the rainforest. It rules Holland and the Netherlands and Earth in general and Earth movements. When it's on its tail, it can be quite the opposite. Okay. And I'm going to explain this just a little bit more because I just saw a TikTok on a friend of mine talking about how a restaurant up in Canada, some fast food chain, is replacing their drive-through employees with robots. Told you this was coming. This is a hit to the employment world. They're going to be using more robots and replacing us as us humans. This is becoming a reality. Those who have followed me a long time know. I've been screaming this from the mountaintops, but sometimes I go too far into the future for people to comprehend right away. That's my own fault. Anyway, this is sitting on the United States' ninth house. The United States is receiving this energy on its ninth house, and this will be all about morals and ethics, or lack thereof, or puritanical energy, where it's all about religious, one person's God and one person's religion, and it's their rules and no rules, but nothing but their rules, that kind of energy, and imposing one's religious beliefs on others. It rules new laws, courts, judges, foreign lands, other cultures, long distance travel, and higher knowledge. Laws will try to be imposed and met with revolution and disdain. There's certain things, I'm seeing it already with the TikTok happening. Once that TikTok ban happens, um, some of us know how to stick it to the billionaires, and that's why you always stick it to them in their wallets. This is not a political thing. This is not a Democratic issue or a Republican issue. We're all in it together. And the way to stick it to them is through their wallets and pocketbooks. Now, the dragon's tail will be on the United States' third house. This is the house of communication. It's transportation, it's friends, neighbors, brothers, and sisters, and in this case, alliances with other countries, or lack thereof. This also rules mental clarity, or lack thereof, along with short trips. I say this because Americans are going to be banned from traveling to certain countries, as we will begin to lose alliances and friendships and allies we've had for many, 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 many years. There will be many catastrophic events with weather, earthquakes, and eruptions. This can happen on a global level too, as it will not be only the United States that feels this energy, but those countries ruled by a Virgo and a Pisces energy will feel it the most. Middle East. Keep your eye on the Middle East. All right, the eclipses for 2025, 2026. We've got a lunar eclipse March 14th in Virgo. Partial solar eclipse on the 29th of March in Aries. Lunar eclipse, total lunar eclipse on September 7th, 2025 in Pisces. And a partial solar eclipse on September 21st, 2025 in Virgo. Patreon, I'll go back and give you 2026's after. Now, I'm coming up towards the end of my free newsletter here for the general public, and I did say I would give 4 predictions for the next 18 months. I'm just trying to decide. Okay, let's start with prediction number 1. Hollywood makes headlines, as you already can see this happening, with many secrets coming to light. Some stars are made, some are exposed, and others just burn out. All of Hollywood the acting and music and entertainment industry is going to get a completely, fully restructured. Just because that dragon head in Pisces is sitting on Hollywood doesn't mean it's riding its lucky energy. It's actually being restructured, a full restructure. Um, I'll give you number 2 as well. Many cities disappear or have major flooding issues. And one of them on my list here is the Netherlands. Another one I'm worried about is Venice, Italy. I'm worried about Miami, Florida. I'm worried about New York. And I'm worried about the Western seaboard in general. That includes Mexico, California, Oregon, Washington, Vancouver Island, that whole seaboard. With sea levels rising, that could make headlines. And if you follow me on TikTok, you know I made a TikTok about the Cascadian subduction zone and how it's acting up, and that's an underwater volcano. But the underwater volcano is connected to 2 tectonic plates that shift and move. So that acting up is not good. It's not a matter of if it's going to happen. It's really a matter of when. So there's that, and that could really wipe out not just one state, not just 2 states, but 3 states, and then create a massive tsunami. God forbid, let's hope not. But those are just some possibilities that some geologists and scientists have stated from the University of Washington. All right, that was number 2. Give me a minute. I want to give you the freebies. I want to make sure they're some of the important ones. All right. So number 8. I'm going to give you number 8 because many of us humans are going to feel less grounded and less connected to nature and the earth elements. Others, depending on your own stars and placement, will be highly in tune, connect with the water elements, and be able to build bridges to help mankind's differences. So we're going into the year of I said it was the year of the oligarchy, religious nuts and gurus, but on the positive side, we are also going into the year of I don't really like to say this word, light worker, because I've met some very dark light workers that don't deserve to call themselves the light, but more of the star seeds, I guess, star seed children, and those that are mystical are going to be in demand and going to be needed, and are going to have to put their time and energy into helping some people. And that includes all of us that are on this spiritual, mystical path. Okay. 8 and 9 are kind of similar, so I'll give you that one as well. The world is either spiritually enlightened or religiously poisoned and indoctrinated. Okay. And there's going to be I'm going to give you 22. Strange and bizarre aquatic discoveries will be found, maybe even mermaids. But anytime you have the dragon's head in Pisces, it's ruled by Poseidon's energy. It's ruled by water. It's ruled by the animals in the ocean. So we might discover new aquatic animals that we never knew existed. There's always that possibility, especially over there in the Mariana Trench. I know a lot of scientists are doing a lot of research over there. And, in truth, only 5 or 10% of our oceans are discovered. We have more discovery out in space than we do in our oceans. So there's that. All right. So I am going to wrap this up for the general public and leave you with saying that these next 18 months will bring its challenges and benefits to the world at large. It's the balance of those polarities, the yin and the yang. It will be all the March and September souls that feel this energy the strongest, along with the souls who are born with a sun, a moon, an ascendant or natal dragon's head or tail in Pisces, Virgo. However, Aries and Libra will have to watch out for health and subconscious fears that might arise as well. So don't feed into fears or phobias. We are going to see incredible things happen in the next 10, 18 months. Pisces is all about religion, and our politicians, government, and leaders do have an agenda of suppression and indoctrination. It's the year, like I said, of the oligarchy, as many Americans begin to have buyer's remorse in some ways. We begin to lose our freedoms from speech and religion, and religious wars are possible. That's another one I'll give you for free because it's a Nostradamus prediction. Nostradamus, the great seer himself, predicts that 2025, part of 2026, is the year of a big Sunni Shiite war that breaks out. And from there, it escalates into something bigger. My Patreons will know what those countries are. I'll be sharing that with them shortly. Where was I? We as Americans are not going to be able to travel as freely as we once liked, as certain countries will ban us from entering certain places. This could possibly be, I'm not saying it's going to happen, these are possibilities, okay? This could be places like Mexico, parts of Central America, Panama, Canada. Yeah, I never thought that would happen. And parts of Europe too. America loses its allies and friends. I'm going to leave you with this. I want you to think about where all the three main religions came from. Christianity, Islam, Judaism all stem from the Middle East, which is ruled by a Pisces energy. The Virgo tail will dismiss the metaphysical, and souls will become very critical, very sarcastic, very opinionated, and you're going to notice, this is not in my newsletter, but you're going to notice like an upgrade in mental snobs. So be prepared for that. Remember, Virgo's usually about organization, the tails in Virgo, so it's always going to be about organization and better health and work. And when the tail's there, it's very much the opposite. So there'll be more Americans will become sicker, both physically and mentally. And there will be no order, but rather chaos, infighting, and possibly wars, even civil war inside, not just this country, but other countries, especially in the Middle East and possibly here. Anyway, I like the saying goes, you always want to ride the dragon's head, for the tail's no place to be, as it brings you despair, turmoil, and past life residue. So we need to step out of our comfort zone and ride the head of the dragon to our destiny in life and hang on in there. That is your free 2025-2026 Pisces in Virgo Dragon Axis shift. Bye-bye and Happy New Year. Okay, now it is just us, Patreon, and I am going to go back and finish up this newsletter. And I read everything to you, so let's continue on with the eclipses. So 2026, we're going to have some interesting eclipses. So the dragon will shift on July 27th, 2026 into an Aquarius Leo tail. Okay. So February 17th, we have an annular solar eclipse in Aquarius. We have a total